Let's take it to the bank and talk about it. Baltimore goes down to Jerry's World. Came out with a win, 28-25. Lamar Jackson, 12 for 15, 182 yards in the air, 1 touchdown. Dak Prescott, 25 completions, 379 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nick, you win attendance. Let's start with you.
Yeah, go ahead. Break it down, Nick.
Yeah, no, it was first and foremost, AT&T Stadium is immaculate. Like everything that you probably heard about it is that, and then some. All the bells and whistles. Just as far as live game entertainment and the environment, like a football, environment, it was amazing in that regard. So yeah, man, it was good to get there. There was a lot of Ravens fans that traveled and supported. It was damn near Baltimore South in there. I was really surprised at just how well we we showed out, in Dallas, as far as Ravens fans being in attendance to support the team. So that was dope. And then, as far as the game, man,
How were the Cowboy fans?
the Cowboy fans were salty. They were just salty. I mean, they weren't, vile or anything. They just, were sitting there upset that their team was getting smacked. And then they started talking in the fourth quarter, of course, but it was a little too late at that point. But man, listen, as far as the Ravens are concerned, we needed this win. This was a must win. I will say that I loved the first 3 quarters. I felt like the first 3 quarters were what you wanted to see out of an 0-2 team. But what disappointed me was the fourth quarter where we allowed 19 unanswered points. That did not show that we've learned or course corrected anything that made us an 0-2 team. You saw how the Raiders lost this week to Andy Dalton and the Panthers after beating us at home, or on the road, I should say. It was, to see us lose focus in the fourth quarter and have some of those fourth quarter issues rear its ugly head. I mean, in the third quarter, when it ended, I was saying to my homie, like, this is John Harbaugh's on. This is where I start to get PTSD and get nervous. And lo and behold, the lead just started quickly. It wasn't even, I was about to say slowly dwindling. It was quickly dwindling in the fourth quarter. Goodness that we had Lamar Jackson. Towards the end, he put it on his back and said, you know what, if we need a first down, I'm going to put it on me and I'm going to get us a first down. And you saw and you heard, and I guess we'll touch on this, but he made some comments that, as far as Harbaugh is concerned, at the end of the game, that was kind of specific to, just we can't let our foot off the gas. We continue to do that, and it's been multiple seasons worth of a problem. We have to get that corrected. Quickly, I'll just run through some quick points as far as the game. O-line played a lot better, although Cowboys defense is very suspect. I don't think we can tell much from this game, but I will say that, Harbaugh stuck to his guns as far as the offensive line rotation, didn't make too many adjustments. But Tyler Linderbaum had a great game, and I think he was like the architect, or he was the main anchor of us having a big rebound on the offensive line. One of the adjustments that Zach Orr made on defense was he went more defensive back heavy, so we saw a little bit less linebackers and more Ardarius Washington. He was everywhere. Kyle Hamilton, he was everywhere as far as being used as a DB and in linebacker like situations. He was all over the field. As far as linebackers, Trenton Simpson I saw was active. Roquan Smith didn't have the greatest game. It seems like every time they wanted to move the ball, especially up the middle, over the seam, Roquan Smith was a victim. We're going to have to watch out for that because he's been a liability in pass coverage. And I guess one final point, something that stood out to me, we did go run heavy a lot as far as 2 tight end looks, or even just having Pat Ricard on the field as an extra blocker in line. But one thing that surprised me was Mark Andrews and his snap share. He only played 33% of the offensive snaps, which was the lowest in a game since he was healthy in his rookie year. So that was very surprising. Isaiah Likely led the tight ends with 62% of the snap share, and it was only the 3rd time in Andrews' career he's been held without a catch. So I don't know if it's injury. I don't know if it's just ineffectiveness. I don't know if Likely has just become a better player. But even with an emphasis on the run game, Mark Andrews never has been that that limited in a game plan or just, snap share. So there's something going on. I guess we'll see as time tells, but I'm not complaining because likely, has become a versatile player as far as blocker and receiving threat. But, with Mark Andrews cap hit the way it is to be playing 33% of the snaps, I'm assuming that something has to be injured or he has to be hurt because the way that cap hit is, he needs to be on the field or he needs to be packaged for something. But we can't just be having him be like a part-time player at his price point.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you said. It's just, I mean, the main thing is just the most important thing is to get out there with a W. That at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. You don't want to be 0-3. You don't want to be the Tennessee Titans. That's not where you want to be. So it's good to go there getting a win. Like I said, through the first 3.5 quarters, you're looking like a team that team that we all thought we were going to see, or a team that we thought we were going to use, and then your All Pro, All World Hall of Fame kicker decides to miss a kick. That was 46 yards away, and that all hell broke loose after that. That really was the momentum
in a controlled climate.
Yeah, like all hell broke loose after that. So after that, then you resort to the same Ravens of just commit penalties. The word we lead the league in penalties. That has never been a Baltimore issue. Now we averaging 12, 13 penalties, 150 yards, 120, 30 yards a game. You can't win like that. That's exactly how you let teams back in the game. They have to clean that up. That secondary has to get cleaned up. I don't know what type of defense they switch to, what type of defense they start playing, but you can't keep blowing these double-digit leads in the second half. Like, it's getting old at this point in time. Like, you want to be happy. You're happy that you got to win, but what really are you taking from it? I mean, it's still the same. It's still the same. You still ended up. You almost blew the game after being up 28-6. To me, it's still coaching. It still comes down to coaching. Whatever message you're preaching to them in the second half, at halftime, or the fourth quarter is not getting through. It's time to change that.
Is bad, bro.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's time. You got to change that. You got to switch that. You got to keep your foot on the pedal. You got to keep throwing the ball and keep try to put teams away. That conservative stuff in the third and fourth quarter is that's how you lose games, and they obviously almost lost this game. Like I said, it's good to get out there with a win. I'm shout out to the O-line. They played well. Less Midley Harrison, but to your point, Nick, we seeing more coverage now, more cornerback, so less of them linebackers in there because they just couldn't play. But Dallas sucks though. Like that's what I really took away from this game a lot. Like as good as we looked on the first week, Dallas is a terrible team, and looking at that schedule, it's going to be rough for them. Yeah, Michael Parsons. It's so funny that players be so great, man. Then when you get Lamar Overfield, he looked like a regular player. Like he looked like Lamar was running away from him all day yesterday. Like not like just making him look silly. I mean, he was like on TV, he just made him look real silly. He's still a great player, but I guess Lamar, he makes great players look normal. But yeah, that's my big Dallas. They can't stop the run. They can't run. It's CD or bust for them down there. So they got a long way. I'm just, like I said, from the Ravens, just get out there with a W. You still got a lot to clean up. I mean, my biggest takeaway is the Ravens still getting pressure. We sacking quarterback a lot this year. We getting pressure on it. So it's really gonna come down to the secondary. They got to get better. They got to get better in the back. It's too much talent back there to have this type of bust. I think it starts on the linebacker level. Actually, they got to get better from linebacker on back. Linebackers not getting enough depth on these routes. In between that safety and the linebacker is too much. The linebackers got to get back. They got to get back further than that. You can't put everything in the secondary. The linebackers they playing. I don't know if that's philosophy that Orr's bringing in, but they got to get more depth. They got to fall back underneath more. But yeah, just have to get out one. Go to Buffalo, man. One to Buffalo. Get out there with a W. Like I said, I still think our quarterback is playing at the MVP level. And yesterday, he ain't had the stats going for, but like I said in the pregame, the Ravens need to control the game. They controlled the whole game. That's what, other than, them coming back in the fourth quarter, they controlled the game. They ran the ball. They was efficient. They was winning time of possession. That's how you had to go there and beat them on the road. But Lamar is still playing like an MVP level quarterback, and he had the clutch plays this week, the plays that we're not used to seeing him making over and over or on a consistent basis. He made two of them on the same drive, so good for him and good for the offense. I think we saw more flaw. Like I said, they finally figured out after a game and a half how to use Henry, and they showed more that they're using him they run the screens to him. Now they getting them outside the numbers. That's where you need to get him the ball at and let him attack. So they finally figuring out how to use them. So it's looking good going forward. But the schedule gets no easier. So happy to be in the win column and not the Titans.
Yeah, you get Henry out on the outside, get him on them corners. It's scary. You saw it yesterday with that stiff arm. Real quick about the Cowboys. They at the Giants, at the Steelers, got the Lions, then they at the 49ers, at the Falcons, got the Eagles and Texans at home. So that schedule don't really get no easy.
Couple losses in there. Couple losses.
Yeah, for real. But to yesterday's game, like he said, proud to get a win, proud to get the dub, especially when you got Nitty Gritty on the scene. You never want to go home with an L. But typical Ravens, foot on the gas, first 3 quarters, and then you just take your foot off the gas. It's kind of been our mantra for the last almost 20 years now. I mean, you think about it.
I was going to say Wink. I was going to ask, like, going back to, like, Wink. But if you want to say 20, I'll take that.
It's going back since whenever John arrived. This is when that conservatism started. But like y'all talked about a lot, you still got to talk about this defense. They didn't giving up the most pass yards in the NFL this season. You playing an empty stat king yesterday, Dak Prescott. That's where he's good at in the fourth quarter down, just throwing the ball.
Empty stat king.
Yeah, that's what he is. So they succumbed to that. And then, I mean, I go back to special team blunders again. This is a team last week that had a special teams issue on the kickoff. They had a penalty. And then this week, you look at the special teams and you fail to recover an onside kick.
With the
when the team has to tell you that they're kicking an onside kick, they got to tell you now. Like, so you know it's coming. You should have that. You would think you have that wrapped up in practice, but to have that blunder and it almost ultimately cost you the game, you can't have that. And so all these issues essentially go back to one constant. We always talk about it, and we'll talk about them more. But yesterday's game, what I took from it, the Cowboys really are trash. Zeke Elliott washed. I'm telling you, he washed. Like they couldn't run the ball at all. They can't run the ball. I mean, they pass happy. If they can't throw the ball and CD can't get loose, then they a tough team. Shout out to Nate Wiggins forcing turnovers. I think the more he gets out there, the more comfortable he'll get out on the outside. But like I said, defensively, we still just giving up too much. And it's only so much. When you see your offense ain't putting out in the second half, that's when you got to be able to clamp up and get stops. And we haven't been able to get stops the last few weeks.
A couple additional points. You mentioned Nate Wiggins. He definitely made a football play on that goal line. I was very impressed to see him keep his mind and keep his hat on and play to the end of the whistle. But he also was credited with 4 catches on 5 targets for 82 yards and multiple slants inside. So
and
mixed bag. Mixed bag for him. But I want him to get these snaps. I want him to work out these kinks because he's obviously a talented player. And then going back to the conversation that you guys alluded to as far as philosophy and taking the foot off the gas, I just think that's just John Harbaugh has to grow past that outdated model. How many times has that model not worked in our favor? You know, just trying to be a front runner and trying to like even on defense, like in the fourth quarter, the philosophy is let's play prevent and keep everything in front of us and let them waste the clock. Well, that's fine as far as philosophy, but as far as execution is concerned, if they're getting up the field in a minute and 30 seconds, you know what I mean, and scoring a touchdown, that's not helping us. That's just, you know what I mean? And then to you guys' point about the special teams blunders, we're missing field goals. We can't get an onside kick. All of these things is like a perfect snowball, and you felt the air. Like as far as the Ravens fans, it was like a home game for us. As we were loud, we were excited, we were doing our chants. When they were born, like we were born with them. Like it was like more booze. We loved it. It was our favorite chorus. It's like one of our favorite songs, the boo song. But when that fourth quarter started happening and they started coming back, and the Cowboys fans started talking again, that didn't feel good, bro. That PTSD, I felt it with the Miami game. I felt it with the Raiders game. I felt it with Steelers. Like, bro, I've seen that story way too many times, and I had a knot in my heart. I didn't feel good. I'm thankful that Lamar stayed with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy Lamar
didn't feel good. That's so funny.
We got to stop this, bro, because there was no reason why we made it that hard on ourselves. 19 unanswered points is pitiful. We gotta get a killer instinct.
Yeah, you know what I equated to? I equated to like how the 3 changed basketball. Like you used to have a 20-point lead in basketball. Team wasn't coming back. Team can erase a 20-point deficit in 2.5 minutes now.
Mm-hmm.
Same in football. You used to have a 2 touchdown, 3 touchdown lead. The game's over. You just running the ball, draining the clock, but you can't play that way now. Like the game has just changed too much to remain in those archaic ways. That's just how I feel.
No, you spitting.
At this point, y'all know the cause of the conservatism because it's on both sides of the ball. I mentioned Wink earlier. You on the third defensive coordinator at this point. What second offensive coordinator? It's the same thing in the fourth quarter. If there is a change, what is it?
But it ain't even 2 offensive coordinators. Go, this predates them. When you think about it,
it was a different. I'm just, and I don't want to say modern, but it was a different game back. With Tressman and Cam Cameron and all of them.
And you can call them type of conservative defense when you got Hall of Fame players like Reed and Ray Lewis. To Nick's point, is going to be executed the right way. You're not going to give up a 18-yard stream pass down the middle of the field on first down and then give up a 30-yard stream pass down the field. That's not going to happen. That's happening now. I don't know why you falling back like you said in that prevent defense. Like you don't got to blitz, you don't got to send extra, but you can play a type of defense where you just not having free open spaces. People just running the spaces in the fourth quarter. Like they trying to throw the ball. Won't you not allow them to throw the ball? Like I think they doing things backwards. I think they trying to be too cute, and it's been John Harbaugh's motto. Like he think he's smarter than everybody else. You're not.
You've been stopping them from throwing the ball the whole game. Now you're gonna go into a prevent where they can throw the ball and execute.
It doesn't make sense. Like, why not keep doing the thing that you was doing the whole game to stop them? Why switch it? That's just bad. That's why I like Detroit and Dan Campbell. They, no matter what the score is of the game, they play the same. They don't go to no prevent defense or like that. They gonna stay in the same defense they was in the whole type of game. That's like the Eagles. They're not going to no prevent defense. They're gonna play the same type of defense. Why switch it up at the end of the game when you've been playing well, it's been going well? The shots are flowing. The next thing you know, we all looking at the team like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, man.
I was having deja vu yesterday.
Yeah, if Dallas had like one more minute, man. They had just one more minute. It was going to be interesting.
I was in the stadium repeating Scholes Tomlinism to myself. I was like, damn, yo, like we really got on our leg. Yeah, man. Just gotta stay close to us, just enough.
Yo, but if my bad, Sko, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, but no, if you look at the Raiders game last week in the fourth quarter, Ravens, 3 possessions, punted 3 plays, punted 3 plays. Then they had the 5 plays at the end of the game where obviously it ended in a lateral where we didn't convert. Yesterday, after the Derrick Henry touchdown where they come out again, foot on the gas out the half, what do? Turn it over. They punt after 8 plays, 17 yards. Next possession, Tucker misses the field goal. Next possession, 3 and out. You punt. And then the last possession is the end of the game where Lamar obviously throws it to Zay to convert the third down. Then he gets the third down to win the game. But like they're not moving the ball in the second half once they take their foot off the gas. We look like the best team in football for the first 3 quarters of football. Like if football was a 45-minute game, give us the Lombardi. For real.
Yep.
Luckily,
give us the Lombardi. If it was a
key.
45-minute game, we hoisting it, Sko. But right when that last 15 minutes, for whatever reason, we get the yips, we turn into Chuck Knobloch. Because that's what it feels like now. We got a lead in the fourth. What are the Ravens going to do now?
Look at your phone, Keith. Yeah, because Lamar Jackson called it out, man. And I'm starting to think he's starting to get a lot more vocal with his displeasure with some of this stuff, especially like the consistent things that keep reoccurring. Like he's starting to say, you know what? He used to be one of those players that maybe not publicly voice their displeasure. He's starting to publicly voice displeasure. He's about to start putting pressure on the organization.
Speaking of Lamar putting pressure on people, him and Marlon had a little snafu on the plane.
They got to hear from you. got the dub.
Got the dub.
Keep stacking.
Keep stacking.
We shouldn't even arrive right now. Like, we need to be getting right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, there you go, Walker Texas. You straight.
Yo, I'm tired of him. I'm tired of him, yo. Your quarterback shouldn't have to say that.
Yo, the look on his face was.
It was. Hold on, what did he say? It was mess. I couldn't really understand. What did he say?
Long story short, he said, "Why are you on this live right now? We should be locking in and focusing."
Like,
we didn't even play that well in the fourth quarter for you to be doing it. And then you got that reporter voice on, like Lamar,
yes, sir.
Tell me, like, yo, bro,
he didn't even take him serious.
Down.
Yes, sir.
That's what I really want to say. Sit your dumb ass down and get that shit out of my face.
Yeah. He said, "Yo, it's one win, yo."
Then at the end, he like, all right, cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Lamar.
I like this new Lamar though. The empowered Lamar, the paid Lamar. Like he's starting to put his imprint on the team, and because he wasn't a vocal guy before. That was one of the only knocks against him is he just wasn't vocal. They questioned his vocal leadership. Now he's starting to say what needs to be said. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, and he's playing like it too. Like I said, he's playing. This is the best
taking over the team.
This is the best I've seen him play, and he has 2 MVPs. He's playing really well. He's controlling the game.
Who's not controlling the game? What are you going to do with Mr. Justin Tucker? It's washed.
This guy.
Can't say I'm not happy. I couldn't wait for this day to come. Sick
now, Harbaugh say is a technical issue. Like the first thing I thought of, don't you know at work when you got to change your password? Like, what do you need his password changed? Like, what is that? Like,
update the software.
That was it.
Is his password expired?
Like, need an app update.
Like,
that shit crazy.
You can't make a 46-yard field goal. You got to get out the league, dog. Like we can get somebody here that can make a 46-yard field goal. Let's be real about this. Like we said last week, he's a Hall of Famer. We said he has all pro, but you can get criticized. He sucks right now. Like he literally missed a 46-yard field goal. I've like that's crazy. So now we talking about 50. Now we talking about plus 45 at this point. Like
in the same game, we watched somebody hit from 65 though.
Right, the same condition, same all that. So it's like now this guy, like I don't know what he mean, but that's basically saying like he sucks, but we can't say he sucks. It's a technical issue because nobody can. Anything could be a technical issue. It literally falls under the scope of anything. You could say anything is a technical issue. Like what the hell is his technique is? What does it mean? He can't make a kick.
Yeah, right. Like Billy Condit had a technical issue.
At this point, it's between the edge. You got to think he got the leg. Like that, it's no question. Can he still kick the ball, power wise? But his accuracy is off.
Yeah,
and like that's a problem when. The last 3 games, you think about it, his 3, it almost cost us again yesterday. Like, it cost us possibly overtime last week.
Man, I know we had, like I said, I know we had the win. I know we had with the win conditions in Buffalo, but that's when it started for me. I still can't get him missing off from Buffalo. The other kicker was making kicks in the rain and whatever to win. This guy ain't make no big kicks in years. None whatsoever.
Yeah, Ravens
leg died in Detroit.
He sacrificed the rest of his career for that shit.
You know how long he ain't been right. That's karma. Since Joe got beat up over Latrobe, the backup kicker who was going to take his job.
He was in Latrobe.
Yeah, the backup kicker.
From the back. That's where they found the backup kicker at.
He was in the ditch out Latrobe.
Nobody was going to tell him, young man.
Tucker ain't been right since then.
You're a long way from home, buddy.
It's more to the story. We can't talk about it on air.
Oh my God! Yeah,
I don't know what he was looking for, but hey,
he ain't over there.
Tucker think he divorced in the streets. Got that Royal Farms bag.
Hey man, somebody told him.
Yeah, all them commercials and like, yo, you a kicker, yo. You
stay up there, man. I don't do they bird right like they used to.
Listen, man. Listen, it kind of remind me like Klay Thompson. Like, you still got to respect the 3. You still got to respect the fact that he's a known shooter, but it just don't hit the same. You know what I mean? When he put the ball on the floor, it just ain't the same. When he spot up, it's not the same amount of fear. So when Justin Tucker trots out there, it ain't the same type of fear that he used to put in. It's a coin flip whether he's gonna make the bitch now. And before it was 50 yards, and we were kind of safe within 50 yards. Now it's 45 and up, like he said. Everything's wide left or wide right. That is an issue. And the fact that we can't rely on 3 anymore, it's probably going to start changing our play calling too. It used to be something where we know we could rely on the 3. We can't rely on the 3 anymore.
Yeah, I used to be able to kick field goals in Madden and NCAA. They changed it now. I can't kick. I'm going for it on 4th down every time. Hey, Sco, but real quick, we had what Lamar said about Harbaugh post game.
Oh yeah, run that.
Coming out, Lamar, that you gathered the guys, you were the final voice coming out for second half, and your one word was finish, which has been a challenge. What did you learn here in these last 3 minutes?
Man, the game not over until it's 0-0 on the clock. I don't like how things went going towards the end. I felt like we should have put more points on the board. We should have just put the gas on the pedal when we was up 28-6. But we got dubbed, man. We just gonna regroup.
Very direct, very poignant. I like it. You the CEO of when it goes bad, it's your fault. Hey, nah, it ain't gonna be my fault after too many of these collapses.
Just to your point, even his media presence is just it's just better. He sounds like just ready to just win, I guess, at this point. So I just John Harbaugh, man, get rid of his ass.
He said y'all was gonna be on Unalive watch last night. I said, Lamar.
You gotta feel him. I
said, Lamar. He was rolling.
He knew us. He knows us too well.
Yeah.
You gotta feel him, Sco, because who they gonna blame on all these 4-letter networks when on Monday? They're gonna blame Lamar because they didn't watch the game. They're gonna look in the stat box. Oh, he was 12 for 15 for 100 whatever yards, and that's the narrative they're gonna run with. So it's all on Lamar. Like Harbaugh not hearing no backlash. So Harbaugh, let's take our foot off the pedal. I don't got the answer to the media. What Monken said a few weeks ago. Y'all soft. That's all y'all got.
Yeah, he definitely had tougher questions in Georgia. I know he did. They don't play down there.
Come on, man. So I feel Lamar, keep your foot on the pedal, man, because at the end of the day, he the one who got an answer for the offense when they put up 28 points in 45 minutes, and then the last 15 minutes, they look like a high school offense. Like, he got an answer for that. So I feel him.
We almost got Jacksonville Jaguar. You know what I mean? Like we was the Chargers and shit.
I was praying for your sanity, bro.
We don't want Brandon Staley. Anything synonymous with Brandon Staley. Like, can we get this under control? And I needed it. Between like the alcohol and everything else going on, man, it was gonna be a rough night.
Yeah, I know how Pittsburgh went with us, so I was praying for your sanity.
And that walk back to the car, nigga.
Yeah, and then you talk about you had to walk. Yeah, that's yeah, that would have been
a 7-mile walk back with an L on you.
Take me now.
Now, I would have loved it. Like I would have loved it. Like, I wanted you to go down there. Like I wanted you to go down there and enjoy your time on Saturday. Enjoy your, but Sunday at 4:30, I wanted that shit to be horrible for you.
It almost was.
But it almost happened.
You should have picked us.
You know what? I'm watching that game, and I'm like, here I go, banking on Dallas to do something good for me.
When Dallas having this,
we scored touchdowns. We scored touchdowns. Like, you should know that.
Hey, y'all give up touchdowns too. That's what I was banking on.
It was bad.
It wasn't y'all. I thought it was gonna be a shootout that y'all lose.
And it wasn't.
I mean, all of us can't play hobble quarterbacks.
Say what? Whoa! Let's go to commercial break and talk about that. Because I was waiting for it. Run it.
All of us can't do that.
Run it. Let's see the commercial now. Hit that button.
When I want some sports news, Nitty Gritty is definitely who I'm tuning into, man. They show up each week with that uncut, that raw, that unfiltered sports news.
They say the things that everyone else wishes that they can say, but they can't.
Every Tuesday and Saturday, I am locked into my favorite sports show, Nitty Gritty.
Nitty Gritty, the best show out right now. Tune in and listen, stupid.